This college football picks week 4 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Hey, it's Peyton Manning, and you're listening to SGPN. Let's ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
I'm feeling a little bit nervous over here. So close to someone willing to commit such treachery.
Joining us from Kramer. Speaking of treachery,
oh, what is this?
You didn't even change the TV logo to the Sports Gambling Podcast.
I've done that before the other way around.
What are you
trying to steal our downloads again, Colby?
There we go. Oh yeah, I love this rivalry. We're getting
Colby
started
Dant,
here.
aka Pick Dundee, and shout out to a lot of Benedictine being reported. I already sent out a gift card to a couple people.
Whoa. I mean. Look,
do you care to say anything for yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Look, I grew up. So East Carolina and Colorado will be picked every fucking time. All right, just so you know.
Yes.
Now,
but on the show, you did pick Colorado State.
I just said anything, but I'm saying I'm not going to take. I'm on the. Come on, you know
what's going on here.
I'm not going to actually take Colorado State to beat Colorado.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So you can see how people could be confused by that.
Oh, they should know me first off. They should, unless they're a new listener. It's the same situation with ECU there, and the other one was just a snafu. I'm going to say that was.
What happened?
That was Southern Miss.
What do you mean?
Southern Miss in South Florida.
What's a snafu? Like, oops, I accidentally gave George Washington's plans to the British.
Whoops. Battle plan somehow fell into the hands of the Queen. Don't know how that happened.
Yeah. I don't look. I. By the way, you want to talk about having a fire week though? We could, call the fire department, Sean, because
you and Kramer both hit Washington State money line. Colby with the clean sheet, hitting both locks and the tees and the Washington State money line.
You're welcome.
Yeah. My Boston. I also played Boston College on the money line. They were one of my locks. Damn if they weren't in that game. Tulane also was live late and then they fell apart. But Ryan, if you recall, the beginning of the season, you called out my ability to pick a correct tease, and I'm 4-0 picking 3-team teasers in college
Your
football.
ability to change a narrative is unreal.
It's called framing data.
You wanted to cancel the tease. I said you can't cancel the tease. All of a sudden, it turns into a chip on your shoulder. Yep. I told
bulletin
you.
board material.
I mean, where is this person? this is the evolution of a tout.
Yes.
Just all the way to the point where somehow I was the one that told him he couldn't tease. He wanted to cancel the teaser. He said, you know what? We should get rid of the teaser. It's stupid.
Then you challenged me, and I put my nose to the grindstone. I've been cashing teases left and right.
Sean's very.
Thank you for inspiring me. Yes.
Well, again, it started when you wanted to cancel the tease.
Yeah.
Okay.
Much like Sean reminds me of the Big Ten during COVID. Right? He wanted to
cancel it, and then all right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it my way. We'll just put Ohio State in. Wasn't that it? They just decided.
So, they've only played 5 games. Well, we're gonna put them in anyway. Wait, but we have some teams out there that are 11-1 and 10-2. Now we're gonna put Ohio State in.
We should just chain. We got to chain. We can't. No more teasers.
That was the best part about COVID is you could see the corruption. You could see. What
do you mean?
Yeah, you could just.
What
see
corruption? It was more called transparency. This is why. Guess what? I mean, honestly, if you laid out the idea of like, all right, in the future, a really at the time seen as potentially dangerous global pandemic is happening right at the start of the start of summer camps for football, we'll say. Let's play the game of what states play football. You would have gotten it right. There wasn't
Sure.
a lot of surprise there. It's transparency.
I'm still very mad at that though.
What do you mean?
Well, we didn't get a full season.
Again.
I look, you're only alive so much. This couldn't have happened
I'm
before
more pissed about March Madness. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, there was
true.
at least college football, and it did end up getting us, at least me personally, more into the FCS. I did like that
That's true.
that it ended up creating spring FCS,
we
which
had
was
brackets.
pretty awesome.
We had brackets.
Best version of spring football out there. Sorry, UFL. Suck it, UFL Jeff, who's now out of a job. Don't send your resume over here.
Has he been hired
Not
anywhere?
welcome.
Should we find UFL?
I will put some Google alerts on just in case he's hired. I almost wanted to text him and like try and request a press pass just so he would have to write back, sorry, I'm no longer. I go, oh, let me guess, mutual decision.
I mean,
Fucking loser.
yeah.
Come at me.
Anytime. So yeah, like what relationship do you know where both people are like, yep, sounds about right. Let's go our separate ways.
How's your music podcast, pussy?
It just doesn't happen. It's
Oh,
like-
is that- it was
Why
a
don't you go
90s
home and
music-
toad the wet sprocket, loser?
that's a good reference.
Thank you. Only 90s kids will understand that one.
Man.
Yeah, just real nice way to bring down an evening. Maybe turn down the lights in the basement. You're about to watch
It's Offspring off their acoustic album.
Oh yeah, Sean was a big grunge guy.
I like grunge.
What's going on here, Sean?
No, for later. For later.
Colby is doing that thing where he wants to show me something on his screen that no one else can see.
Oh, great podcasting, especially for the audio.
Yeah,
listeners.
now he's pointing at my screen,
Yeah.
trying to tell me this is what I want to show you. Oh, what you want me to put this person on screen?
At some point when we
Okay.
get the first
Well,
game. First
okay,
game,
got
yeah.
it. We'll get to it. I see what you're saying.
You
Are
know, when Steven Spielberg directs, he doesn't say it while they're recording. You know that, right?
Okay. What is he just points?
Yes.
He points at the.
Yes.
Got it.
How do you think Harrison Ford got a job? All right.
He was good at
He's
receiving
a
the
fucking
point.
carpenter. Yeah. He was yeah.
So, Sean, are you ready to? Should we talk some college football?
Oh yeah,
Is that acceptable?
I'm ready.
Anything else to get to from last week?
No, I finished my touting. Washington State is looking pretty good there.
Is Washington State on a path to stealing that that group of five?
Well, and I'm
bid?
glad. I was going back and forth, and I'm pretty sure I'll have to double check. I made Washington State #1 in my Pac-2 power rankings. I release Pac-2 power rankings every Friday afternoon.
they added 14.
I know they really ruined my bit. I wanted to keep doing the bit. I am, and we'll get to it.
Starts next year.
I'm a little worried about
That still works.
We'll get to it, but I'm a little worried about Washington State this week.
And just if for those, I know you like to tout, Sean, but for those
Yes.
who don't remember,
Are you going to talk about overall record where I'm leading the pack 32-28?
no, I was just going to bring up that one of us thought that Washington State to make the playoff at 40-1 was a great bet during the Pac-2 preview. One of us.
Which one?
One of us.
I mean, if you listen to my
You idiots are on Wyoming.
I know you were trying to steal my downloads, but
Can we talk about this? I now that I'm looking at this sheet, you idiots were on Wyoming to make the playoff
That was a bad
and win
play.
the Mountain
I'll
West.
you threw the Pac-2
I'll
into the Mountain
completely
West.
blame Colby on that one. I go, Colby, we worried about them not having their head coach. No, Craig Ball.
The
they
whole
don't
team
need
is
him.
back.
I go, the DC's gonna pick up where Wyoming left off. All right, I'll listen to you.
I mean, look,
college football expert.
yeah.
And shout out to you guys. Florida State unders already have cashed because they went 0-3. The total was at 9.5.
How is that even possible?
I thought I was fading them by having them go like 10-2.
They haven't even had the lead at their home stadium yet.
Oh man, you
That's
really feel
embarrassing.
bad for
Yeah.
Danny Cannell, who tweeted out, I think it was after the first game.
receipts.
I keep receipts. Everyone's sending me all this garbage. I
Oh,
keep
man, that's
receipts.
tough.
Hashtag
That's
DK receipts.
Tough.
I mean, I would say that fortunately for them, Florida also in a bit of a shitty situation because
Yeah.
what recruiting? This is going to help. Like this is going to really drastically affect recruiting. I think in South Florida, this really allows Miami to.
And UCF.
I know UCF's in there, but this really is good for Miami, and I don't like that. I mean, how could you hit your under in 3 games?
Well, as someone who has an ACC long shot,
Not even close.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Like Colby said, they haven't led at home.
Well, me and Sean, when did we cash our Kansas over? That was early,
that was
right?
that was
a couple years.
That
ago.
was an electric sweat of 1.5. That was so fun.
You guys are doing that thing where you're looking way in the rear view. That's too much in the rear view. It's not relevant.
People remember. People remember when we cashed our Kansas
All right.
over win total.
I think most people are probably here to
Talk about some games.
tail our fire picks. At least Sean's, because we all know how well he's doing. 4:30 p.m. I assume these dates are correct.
Yeah, Thursday night game.
Thursday night in Boone, North Carolina. I assume the lit factor for this one is all the way to the roof. Although if the Flames get to the roof, you're in bad shape. Appalachian State laying 7.5 minus 265 on the money line. South Alabama plus 215. 64.5 is the total. Nice big fat total there. Did you want me to show this on the screen now, Colby?
Well,
Would this be a good time?
look, here's the thing. South Alabama scored 87 points. We should talk about this. They scored 87 points last week. They went to a running clock and voided all of the over bets.
No, none of the bets counted because they ended with 6 minutes left.
That's a dickhead move. Hey, why is that happening? They scored 87 points.
We can't have a mercy rule in games you're allowing to bet on. This isn't Little League. I mean, Ryan, even at your daughter's level of soccer, do they have a mercy rule? They still play the entire game, right?
There is
in club soccer, travel soccer.
There would not be. In fact, yeah, in a couple of weeks I'll be going to no mercy rule. Oftentimes the ref is kind and maybe shortens the game, but
maybe you're a little slow on the whistle.
I would say that this also requires re-looking at every time this rule comes up, it's not for good reasons. The House needs to figure out a better way to legislate, like the idea that if a game ends short, no action.
Yeah,
because I get it. There's a potential that if you were on the other side of this, maybe you don't. But in a case where the over has already hit and the under has already lost, I'm not sure why. Like maybe the side can void. Whatever. But
I have a problem
for counting a number that can't go back down. There's no negative points.
Yeah.
In the sport of football, it's hard for me to understand the spirit of this rule when it comes to totals.
I agree, and even more so, I'm mad at college football for going to the running clock because they were in play to beat Georgia Tech and Cumberland's 1916 game of 222-0. That was on the table before you went to a running clock. Why
go back
would
to
you
World
do
War
that?
I?
That's what I'm saying.
But what caused the game to end with 6 minutes to go?
No, they were just whooping their ass.
No, but it ended with less. It ended with 6 minutes.
I know, but why
left.
did it not get to the zero?
I was under the belief that they just called it.
Yeah,
right?
so but that's what I'm saying. You have to have a different. The rule has to account for times when one team just quits.
I don't know.
This isn't a weather situation. This isn't some weird fluky thing where something horrible happens on the field. And again, with totals specifically, they probably need to figure out a better way to handle this.
Yeah,
because.
But I got bailed out in the Hall of Fame game with some nice weather. Because I was on the under and they called it, so the over did not cash. So there was someone that was on the opposite that had Northwestern State in the points that really got bailed out. So there's two sides there.
Of course, but again the side different scenario than the total. It should have a different rule. All right. So again, is it the intent for me to show this name?
Well, my point is, so South Alabama's off and rolling. They got that win, but they have one of the best names, and he's a freshman running back, and his name is Fluff Bothwell. And I rostered him in I rostered him in DFS last week.
All right, we'll get this.
Me and NC Nick, and we both rostered him, and he fucking is look at this guy. 5'10", 220. All right,
he looks like a Fluff.
Oh my god, that name!
How do you come up with Fluff?
That Fluff,
I mean, his last name's interesting too.
It's perfect. That is that better than General Booty?
Fluff the Magic Dragon, breathing down the sidelines. You can. Berman would love Fluff.
Fluff Bothwell. He's a freshman, man. Maybe he can get to the NFL.
This is a player in NCAA.
Yeah, this is like a character.
The video game in like 20 years when you don't have, it's just all fake players. All right, so he had a good game, I assume.
All right, look at his scroll down. Look at his
Oh, you
stats.
want me
He's a true freshman, man. Look at what he's doing.
23
10.6 yards a rush,
wow.
4 touchdowns.
But
Woo!
so this almost feels like Colby's setting us up to where he's going to pick against his.
Well, this is interesting because South Alabama, they're coming off a game where they put up 87, and they're getting 7.5 points against Appalachian State on a short week
in an environment that will be lit.
Jaguars, the South Alabama Jaguars gave up 52 points, 550 total yards against North Texas. App State might run it up on them, but South Alabama is getting Gio Lopez, their quarterback. Or no, wait.
Yeah, you're right. Gio Lopez.
Yeah, he didn't play. He didn't play
two.
against Ohio. He was when they got their ass kicked against.
I'm
North
glad
Texas.
you brought that up though.
Yeah,
because Ohio, it would have been his first ever road start. He didn't play that game.
Yeah,
this is his first road start, nationally televised, lit environment. Good luck. Give me App State minus the points.
Yeah, I think the number is telling you the fact that they won by 70 points and are getting points this week. That's all you need to know.
And since entering the FBS, App has put it on them for just only one of them, and that was in 2015, which I think might have been their second season, was a 7-point game. The rest 52-7, 30-3, 31-7. App's gonna put it on them.
Is North Texas any good?
No, they just lost by 1,000 to Texas Tech.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. I mean, as Sean said, lay the 7.5. Number tells you everything you need to know. All right. I assume you crowbarred in this next game.
All the weekday games are on there because
Friday night.
Yeah, what are you gonna do on Friday?
Because
like you're going out, you got to take the wife,
Sean
the
and I
girlfriend, the dinner.
Well, Sean and I will tune into VSiN.
Yeah. Hopefully, hopefully
Colby,
you
you're supposed to
record the
cancel
VSiN
date night. No, you cancel
Right?
date night and
It's
you
our
watch
promo.
our show. You're doing a horrible job of promoting our show, and you put this on to kiss Sean's ass because he'll be watching this game in Vegas, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Syracuse, always a weird road trip for the ACC. Very weird for the new West Coast ACC team. Stanford, all the way up to mid-state New York. Syracuse laying 8.5 here.
Right. What did you pick? Did you take App State?
Oh yeah, I agreed with your take on the 7.5. Syracuse minus 8.5, minus 320 on the money line. Stanford plus 255. 57.5 is the total. Syracuse has come out looking good. This is a massive number for a Syracuse team.
They're coming off a bye. They are awesome at home. Kyle McCord is balling out. You can still get him to win the Heisman, 150 to 1 in some shops.
Will you be
Kyle Honda McCord? I think Circa has him at 150 to 1. Might have to get a little extra sprinkle there.
He's claimed your nickname now.
I got it. I got it as a TC.
It's not yours anymore.
As a loyal TC listener, I got it, and I'm gonna keep riding.
Wait,
it, much like the Honda McCord.
Were we gaining downloads then?
Oh wow. Yep, he's got a trunk full of downloads.
You know what? He's adjusting the market, right?
Trunk full of downloads in that Honda Accord.
Syracuse put it on Georgia Tech. They also did very well with the mobile quarterback, slowing him down. I think this is a great spot for Syracuse. Stanford has no business playing East Coast in a dome. They don't have the offense to keep up with Syracuse.
I'm with you. Syracuse is gonna I just believe in the momentum of Syracuse's program right now.
Whoa.
And Kyle Honda McCord, that thing is when he goes to the gas station, he's putting that premium shit in.
In an Accord?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't.
This guy
actually
gets
help.
great gas mileage.
It probably doesn't. help.
His numbers have been good.
Yeah, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception, and I buy into this the skill position players. I said this before. I feel like when we were talking Syracuse, this is the most athletic Syracuse has been in 25 years. I feel like since the late 90s or the early 2000s. LaQuint Allen's a good back with those skill position players. Aronde Gadsden Jr. will be in the NFL, and I like Zeed Haynes and Jackson Meeks and all those guys. Pina. Let's go. Lay it. This place gonna look. Everyone
lit.
It'll be lit. Friday night. Pink Eye will be there.
Oh,
Bob Costas. And
wow.
we'll get it going.
Kramer,
You're not worried about the big number.
No.
I gotta continue to be a little bit of a hater. Is this not a huge number? You're not at all worried.
No.
Big number. Give me the points.
See, he always faded our Syracuse
Yeah,
player.
no, I have to. I have a piece of the Honda McCord Heisman. So
Yeah, Ryan did take.
I also have the.
and he took
Who's
Syracuse.
the Benedict there?
Well,
What
he
do you
took
mean?
Syracuse. He did say, "I'm only doing this because if Syracuse somehow wins the ACC, you're never going to shut the fuck up about it, and I want to at least make some money."
I was very
Sean,
clear.
that Georgia Tech game was fucking huge.
Yes,
that was one of the ones I was like, I don't know. That was a 50-50 one. They just got to take care of business right now.
Syracuse wins, doesn't get the cover.
Hey, let's talk underdog fantasy, and we can stay on this game. Syracuse at Stanford.
Okay.
Kyle McCord, of course, underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Get in on the boost, the bonuses, 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Kyle McCord, Colby, do we want his higher passing touchdowns? Do we think he gets a rushing or receiving touchdown? Do we get passing yards is 290.5. That to me is maybe the safest, but what do you like here, Colby?
What's the passing touchdown angle there?
So you can do higher. You're getting a little boost. You're getting 1.2x higher, 2.5 passing touchdowns, or you can go.
Nice.
What about
yards.
rushing touchdown?
Rushing touchdown is 2.1x.
Because he does.
That's a fun.
He's got
spicy
little
angle.
wheels. He's got little wheels.
That's a spicy angle.
But he's thrown 4 touchdowns in every game he's played at Syracuse.
Yeah.
So let's just take that.
Okay, higher 2.5 passing touchdowns. And why don't we go? Why don't we go back to and we'll pair it with something from the App State game. Maybe we'll want to fade Gio Lopez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His passing
interception.
yards.
No,
his
I think it's
interception. Okay.
over a half.
Higher half is
yeah.
0.7x. So it's
Yeah, so they expect him to throw an interception. But
Okay.
do you like that, or do you go yards?
no,
What's his
Maybe
I-
they
yards?
get garbage
What's his
yards.
Yeah,
254.
that's the scary part. Is
All
like
right.
if they're down big. But I'll tell you this, man. Back to the McCord angle is like Stanford's. The last time they played, and remember Stanford's coming off a bye too. They gave up a gigantic amount of yards. I believe it was almost 500 to TCU. So Stanford's defense not necessarily elite either. So Syracuse can definitely have some success there.
So Kyle McCord higher 2.5 passing touchdowns. Gio Lopez higher a half interception. Underdogfantasy.com promo code SGPN.
I'm doing the version where Kyle McCord runs one in. By the way, if you're interested, it's juicier.
Why does it every time you say Gio Lopez, I think of a Geo tracker, a car?
I think of Mario Lopez. I just think of someone hanging out. Well, what do they call it? The Peach Pit. Him eating some fries, stealing some fries. From
Gio's a
Screech.
pretty Dago name. I mean, it makes me think of New Jersey, honestly.
And some of these dates are off because Illinois, Nebraska is Friday night as well.
Friday night, huge
Oh,
game.
okay.
Yeah.
And so is
3
San Jose
games.
State.
Yes.
Well,
It's
okay.
coming after you.
Yeah.
No, I thought this was off.
Jesus.
Look, buddy, I was dialed in the minute I knew Fluff Bothwell was on the on the agenda.
He's blowing smoke up your ass because he wants to give you all these Friday games to think about while we're out in Vegas. Of course, we have to sweat the games live.
That's so fun.
All right, next up, you cannot fade the Joe Judge coaching tree. Illinois, Mr. Bielema, they head down to Lincoln, Nebraska. It's kind of annoying that this kid is a parody of Patrick Mahomes, but
Single
also
white female. It's a weird stalkery thing going on right
also
now.
a good. He's also good at actually
been good.
playing quarterback. But it's weird to come out onto the stadium and mimic Mahomes. That just feels a little too much for me. Anyway, Nebraska -8.5, -320 on the money line, +260 for Illinois. 43.5 is the total. This is a sneaky good game, Colby.
It is, buddy, and let me tell you, I love the Illini.
It's a big number to be laying against that team.
That's what I actually think this number should be at like 3. I think Illini is live to win this game.
Oh,
Aren't they just going to smash people in the face and play close games every week?
Like Illinois' defense is good. So
yeah,
let me ask you this: Dylan Raiola. I'm not trying to throw shade. He's 18
it's
years old.
hype. I agree with you.
Well, the only Power 5 he played was Colorado, and he threw for $185 and a touchdown. That touchdown was a pick 6 drop. It hit the linebacker right in the hands. He bobbles it, and then it goes over his head, and it's caught by the receiver for a touchdown. And let me tell you,
Didn't do anything with when the adjustments happened in the game. He basically got ratcheted down.
this is the best defense he's ever faced in as far as being a college football quarterback.
Nice.
And how about this?
Dog potential.
Illinois' offense is way better than Nebraska's offense. They have the more experience at the quarterback spot. They're more balanced. Ja'Kari Franklin at the wide receiver spot. They're just a much more balanced offense. I love the Illini plus the points here. And I think they're actually in contention to win this game. Like I think this is the obviously Nebraska fans show up. That's always a great environment, but I think
I'm surprised it's over a touchdown.
on a neutral site, I would take Illinois to win the game.
I was wrong about this team before the year. This is a good team.
I feel like I'm going to get burned, keep fading Nebraska, but Illinois is awesome in the Bielema era since 2021, 11-4 ATS on the road. They show up. I just don't think I don't think they're going to get their ass kicked. Like I think that at the very least, this is going to be a game. It feels like a 1-score game. I would be very surprised if Nebraska just rolls, and Nebraska might be smelling themselves a little bit after putting Colorado in their place.
Oh
wait, or that was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
They're still on that. They're still on that. That was the first time beating them in like a decade.
Yeah.
I know, and of course, all the controversy after Coach Prime gave that poor Nebraska fan a Colorado hat. No mention of the litness of this environment. Is that just because
I thought you said it was lit, Colby.
This is super.
But that's why I like the more experienced quarterback.
Is this not the littest environment of the night games?
Of the Friday night games, for sure.
Thursday and Friday night.
Probably. But App State fans do a really good job too.
Maybe they win by a field goal. Does feel like this number is mega big. All right. Next up, 7 p.m. on the West Coast. Well, definitely going to have action on this one. Somehow San Jose State is not catching 2 touchdowns. You need at least 2 touchdowns to get involved in that team. They are horrible. We're heading to Pullman. Washington State laying 11.5.
Undefeated though.
The Coug will be lit again. Put them in the playoff -500. They brought the Pac-12 back from the dead. 375 for San Jose State.
They're doing all the right things. Bringing the Pac-12 back, honoring Coach Leach. Putting him in the Hall of fucking Fame.
How could you possibly want to fade this team? 55.5 is the total.
I think
just everything about this Washington State team, just a team that last week, perfect example. A lot of teams lose that game. That was a maddenism right there.
No, but don't a lot
of teams lose.
I love Wazoo. I love Washington State, but
whoa.
Are we not Are we not just a little bit worried? The Cougs have not been good last 10 contests as double-digit favorites. San Jose State as a double-digit dog, 9-3 ATS. And isn't this potentially a massive letdown spot for Washington State? You put it on your rival, you beat Washington, and now you got this, San Jose State team you should beat, and then you bring in quarterback Emmett Brown in a revenge spot.
Emmett Brown, a former Washington State Cougar.
He's going to get up for this game.
Well, even more so, Sean, if you're looking to build that, I'm personally not. But Craig Stutzman, their offensive coordinator,
personally not
for San Jose State. He's one of the guys Wazoo fired because he didn't want to get vaxxed. So it's a little personal. It's a little personal for old Craig Stutzman and Emmett Brown. Well, I guess Emmett Brown, I don't know if he got vaxxed or not, but I'm saying the fact that Stutzman knew him from that. But I just think San Jose State, a great start for Ken Niumatalolo. Like, really good job being 3-0 because they lost a ton of production. I just think Washington State and John Mateer are on another level right now.
Yeah,
I'm laying the 12.
This isn't Kennesaw State.
I know it's a look ahead spot because they have Boise on deck.
Yeah, like this is isn't this the ultimate sandwich spot?
Who's looking ahead to Boise?
A Washington State could be because I feel like they're gonna get it done though.
Come on, that's
Martin Stadium. You bring home the Apple Cup.
That is a reach.
You hit the Coug all week.
This is why the CW bought college football.
I love this. Is CW.
Like
this CW is winning me over.
Do they still have that frog jumping around?
I think so, right?
All I know is CW. I'm about to subscribe to whatever the show you got on before Buffy, whatever the hell it is.
You were probably a big Buffy
because the Friday night college football. Someone's listening to the college football experience, and it's the C-Dub. All right, let's go.
Yeah, come on. Did you? San Jose State, I would say, didn't exactly look like a juggernaut against Kennesaw.
I'll take.
Is Kennesaw good this year, Colby?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll take Wazoo, but
Sean,
I'm a little worried.
Sean didn't want to take Wazoo.
I don't like them to win, which is always tough to take the dog in that spot. But I don't think they're going to be quite the lay down spot. Now I'm happy to be wrong. I'm rooting for Washington State, but I think it could be a letdown spot for them.
Absolutely.
Buyer, just danger, not locking this up.
Really?
Yeah.
think you're overrating what the San Jose State team is.
Okay.
Saturday, hopefully, I mean, I will be betting on this, so hopefully you don't do something silly and get cute with a big money line dog on San Jose State.
Would never do.
Would hate to see you lose your money that way. All right, let's hop over to Saturday. We have no morning games on the slate. You just skipped the morning window.
Well, I was gonna put the Pussy Pack against Clemson. That was too easy of a handicap.
I guess we're not watching morning college football.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's easy. Right to 12:30 in the afternoon for a massive battle. Why is this game being played so early in the season? USC.
It's a conference game now.
That's true. Taking on Michigan in a conference game now, as you say. USC laying 5.5 in the big house, -215 on the money line. Michigan +176. 46.5 is the total.
I think in the summer this spread was like Michigan -11. Like this is a crazy swing, and it's almost impossible to back Michigan because of how bad their offense has looked. But at some point, maybe you're getting a little line value. But to me, why you gotta play USC is USC's defense has looked good. Now maybe it was because it was in a neutral field at the beautiful Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, where they were able to slow down LSU's offense. But I mean, normally you're talking about USC's offense and what Miller Moss has done. He's certainly looked good. But I mean, USC's defense against Michigan's offense.
Bringing in D'Anton Lynn from
Michigan put up 28 against Arkansas State.
That's and that's why you are correct to take USC. I think you have to, and I know everyone's on it.
Yeah,
but Michigan announced Alex Orji is going to start for them. This is a guy who is 3 for 6 for 15 yards this year. So this was supposed to be their starting guy. He lost the battle in camp. Very concerning. They don't have very talented wide receivers. Their best player on offense, arguably, is Colston Loveland, their tight end, who's questionable. And to me, like USC, like tell me a game where Lincoln Riley doesn't okay when he played Saban or when he played the LSU team, they still put up like 30.
Yeah,
there's gonna score.
I don't see how
28 to 30. In a worst case scenario.
How does Michigan get to 21 points against this USC defense? I would be very surprised. Yeah. I mean, maybe they can change the game script and pound the rock, but like even USC's rush defense isn't bad.
And it's not even cold. And like if this was played in a month, maybe I could buy
like in. Freezing and you get some bitter and you have some wind that jacks up the passing game.
And I'll tell you, man, USC put up 27 points week 1 against LSU, but that was including like a missed 20-yard field goal. So it was really 30, but the LSU has like maybe the best offensive line in the country. They're in contention. They're like a top 10 offensive line. Michigan does not have LSU's offensive line. I'm loading up. USC is going to load the box, make Alex Orji beat you. And I think USC's defense is vastly improved. They went out to Oregon State, brought in a bunch of their transfers. Bear Alexander's in his second year coming over from Georgia. They have more talent on the defensive side of the ball than they've had in some time. Lay the 5.5.
You guys aren't worried at all
that everybody's
about the massive
on it?
Line move and everyone's laying it.
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing is like, but I just don't think Michigan's any good. I think they're like a 7-5 team this year with that offense.
This is the contrarian play of the week. Yeah, you have to take Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, there's certainly the line value, the home dog, Michigan hearing how they're going to get their ass kicked. If there was a get up spot, maybe it's this game. But I don't know. Like it doesn't feel personal for me with Michigan against USC.
We haven't seen Lincoln Riley ever get punched in the mouth by a physical team. We've never seen that happen before. I mean, that's how it happens.
Yeah,
but I agree.
But just you look at that roster, you look what they've done.
Also, first true road game for USC. Definitely going to be a hostile environment. Assuming Michigan fans are into this season. I don't know.
Shout out to Dick Puncher, who is a Michigan fan, and he is saying this is a lock. It's the Dick Punch from God. He's not worried at all. They're gonna get destroyed.
Okay, even more reason. Well,
which I usually like to fade fans who fade their own teams. But I can't do it. I'm taking USC.
Give me Michigan. This is not a lock.
I thought USC was being undervalued in the preseason. Like this team still is super talented.
Yeah,
and it's showing already.
But we always, we'll see them look like fucking fairies at some point this season in the Big Ten. Someone's gonna push them around. All right, 12:30. Another. I guess we're again afternoon. So set your alarms late. We have no or early college football. Georgia Tech and Louisville. Not sure how this one made the mark. Georgia Tech not good anymore. Remember Louisville minus 10.5, minus 350 on the money line. Georgia Tech plus 270, 57.5 is the total. Why are we, of all the great games this weekend, how did this one make the card?
I think they're two contenders to play in the ACC championship. What are you talking about?
Barely a power conference. Right?
Georgia Tech as a dog, 11-2 ATS overall. 8-3 ATS last 11 games as a double-digit dog, and 5 of those covers were actually outright victory. Don't take the fact that they lost to Syracuse as a knock against Georgia Tech. Take it as a badge of honor for how awesome this Syracuse team has been. Louisville, I mean, they've been, who have they played?
Nope. Austin P and Jacksonville State, they've blown them both out. But
True.
Yeah, it's nobody.
And they're coming off a bye.
And Georgia Tech's essentially coming off a bye. They played VMI.
Don't you disrespect the Keydets like that?
Key took it to the Keydets. Louisville may even be looking ahead to Notre Dame. I love
like
Georgia Tech here. Georgia Tech plus the points. You're not getting me off this dog. No way.
I'm with you too. I don't think they're going to win it outright, but I like the points. It's just a little bit too much. Georgia Tech is vastly improved. Brent Key's doing a great job with that team. I think they can stay within 10.5. Louisville's going to win the game, but give me the 10.5 with the Jackets.
Oh, mark this one, Sean. This one has a high risk of Benedicting. Please, mark. Yeah, I think everyone's taking the points with Georgia Tech. I think they're begging you to take the points with Georgia Tech. This is the show out game. This is why you liked Louisville before the season, Colby. They're going to come out with a nice win here, run it up a little bit, lay the points. Come on, you're a market analyzer, Sean. You know better. This is an obvious one.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a bad idea, Ryan.
What, public dog like Georgia Tech at 10.5 points, getting all the money.
Your tech blindness has got you on.
That may be true. That it is the wrong tech. Although they did. I got my money from them right off the bat against Florida State.
Well, they've won a national championship more recently.
Who?
Georgia Tech. 1990.
You and these stupid gimmicky facts that you store in your brain that are useless. 12:30 p.m. Another one on the West Coast. We're heading to Lubbock, Texas for, I guess this is conference battle now. Arizona State, Texas Tech.
Big fan. We've been lobbying for this for a long time.
You like this?
Well, me and Patty C like desert college football.
So you like some realignment. You should start being more public with that.
100%. Like the Big 12's realignment. And
you love it?
Even the SEC's makes sense.
All right.
The Big 10's does not make any sense.
I agree.
ACC's does not make any sense.
But yeah, the Big 12 just kind of is a blob, so anything would have made sense.
Well, no, I'd throw stones at the Big 12's editions the year prior.
Yeah.
Not this year, because like Arizona State, Utah, Colorado was there for a long time.
I like again, Big 12 could turn into my favorite conference when all said and done. We'll see. I haven't
truck stop guy?
I have not given the roses out yet. Arizona State catching 3.5 here on the road, plus 122 on the money. That's a short money line for.
You did ask me about a flight from Provo.
I was looking at flight.
Ryan is doing some soaking.
Stay tuned, but I will in the next couple of weeks. I have a trip that will start in Burbank, California, or in this very studio. And it will take me through the states of Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. So
oh wow!
There will be soaking and raw dogging all at once. Minus 146 on the money line for Texas Tech. 59.5 is the total. What the fuck is this number about?
Well,
is this not the smelliest number on the board?
I mean,
Colby?
am I dumb for not understanding why Texas Tech should be a favorite? Like they lost to Washington State by 19. They put it on North Texas. They almost lost to Abilene Christian.
Yeah.
Opening, they let up 51 points against this Abilene Christian offense. Like, how does Arizona State not put it on them?
And Arizona State. I mean, we like Texas State as a good team, so that was a big win.
That was a good win. That was a quality win. I think we
wild game.
I think we really underestimated.
Is there
Arizona
an injury?
State team.
No.
All the money's coming in on Texas Tech. That's why it's
then
moved
I
to
feel
3.5.
all right to take Arizona State. I thought Arizona State would be a public dog having a bunch of fleas.
Well, yeah. What are we? Is it just the fact that Arizona State's like? What was this preseason number? I'd imagine it was probably a little bit bigger.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Arizona State was not supposed to be 3-0.
Perhaps that's purely all this is. But I test wise, like this to me is different than the Michigan USC.
Well,
game.
I'm going to take Texas Tech.
Whoa.
Back-to-back away games is a real thing.
Whoa.
You don't just walk into Texas and try to do the Texas two-step. They were in San Marcos last week, Sean.
Yeah.
Things worked out for them. A late fumble by Texas State. Well, Texas Tech in Lubbock is like, to me, like this is a harder environment to win in. Give me Texas Tech, and I also see a 3 out there. I know you're using this 3.5. This phony 3.5.
Whoa.
Call Colby
When did you add these lines? Huh?
Oh my goodness! Right before the show, I grabbed them literally.
Colby had a look ahead line that Texas Tech is a 7-point dog from May 1st. Some shady sportsbook.
I mean, what do we do here at this company that you run?
What do you mean? You get the best numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, these are the numbers where, you know what? The menu is fixed for this show.
Hey, you know where you can get the best numbers? Over on BetUS. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Bet with the best. Ryan, show that awesome screenshot of Michael Vick rocking a BetUS hat. They've been America's favorite sportsbook for over 30 years. You can play from a ton of locations. And when you use our link, you get some sweet bonuses. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. You can get up to 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits. I mean, Colby's talking about it, but really you should have as many options as possible. And why not add BetUS to your different options? I mean, I thought I was pretty smart having the Eagles at -5.5 because I briefly covered that game. Didn't end up mattering, but it was the best price available, and I got it over on BetUS. Deposit using crypto and get lightning fast payouts, easy withdrawals with crypto. Highly recommend adding BetUS to your stable of sports books. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. US players welcome. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS.
Shout out to Michael Vick, fellow classmate, kind of at Virginia. I don't think he ever graduated, to be honest. Next up, another 12:30. Really nice afternoon slate, which is good for us, Sean, because I think we're traveling in the morning, so we'll get back just in time for this excellent. Remember, we don't need to wake up early. Colby, are you doing your pregame?
Oh, we
show
do need
late?
to wake up early because you got to be back for soccer. So we are waking.
What do you
up
mean?
pretty early?
But we're not missing any college football.
That's
games.
true.
Please.
And I was talking.
Poggi has a game at 9
And I was talking to the audience. So Colby, when's the pregame show?
8 a.m. Pacific.
Really? Oh, even though there's no games at 9 a.m. this week. Rutgers and Virginia Tech's on the card. It can only mean one thing.
Schiano, you're giving this man points.
We're heading to Blacksburg. I once watched Rutgers and Virginia Tech play a game in the rain down in Orlando. One of the worst bowl games ever. Colby, if you remember,
because the rain made it watchable.
It was just an absolute slugfest. I think there might have been 12. There was like 10 points until overtime, and then it turned into
that's how you
shootout.
judge your good games, huh?
Virginia Tech laying 3.5 at home. That was not one of the best Hokie games I've been to. I'll say that. Me and my dad got tickets for like $3 a pop. Why do they play these bowl games in these locations? No one cares. Especially in Orlando. Like, have you been to Orlando? No one's going to randomly watch a football game in Orlando between Rutgers and Virginia Tech.
I mean, doesn't the Outback Steakhouse still owe Jerry Glanville?
It was the Outback Bowl. Thanks for reminding me. Virginia Tech laying 3.5, -170 on the money line. Rutgers +140. 44.5 is the total.
Love Rutgers here.
Oh, of course.
Love Rutgers here on the road since 2020. They've been pretty good. 12-7-2. They also really Schiano off a bye. Call him the poor man's Andy Reid. 17-8-1 with extra time to prepare. I mean, no offense, Kramer, but I mean, the drones have not been amazing. Uninspiring performance against
Bad
Marshall. Old Dominion was like hanging around there. I don't know how you can make Virginia Tech a favorite right now against a Big Ten football team.
Really? Okay. Rutgers going to score points in this game?
No, no one's going to score points.
I do think the under is a nice play.
Yeah, 44.5. Have you seen these teams' offenses?
No, this is another public dog that Sean is latching on to, like an absolute donkey with his big old teeth. Give me that flea, dog.
Well, let me tell you this.
What?
All right,
I see a 3 out there.
Arthur Satowski. I'm sorry, not Arthur Satowski. That's their old school quarterback. Ethan Kalamanakis,
I'm out on Colby.
The Greek pellet gun.
What is that? That's not a nice name. You just said.
Well,
Greek
they call
pellet gun?
no, they call him the Greek rifle, but we call him the Greek pellet gun after he started a season ago at Minnesota. And look, the one road game he won was 12-10 against Iowa when Iowa returned a punt for a touchdown and the refs blew the call.
Okay.
So he should be winless on the road. And even with that, he didn't throw a touchdown.
Are you saying something nice about him?
No.
Okay.
And he also wears the Emmitt Smith face mask. You know what I mean? The two bars as a quarterback.
You love
as a quarterback, I fade that right away.
No.
All right.
Colby doesn't like that.
Yeah, when I see that on a quarterback, I'm just like, okay, this is a jackass. So going into that's good for 2 interceptions, one for each side, one for each side of the mask, Sean.
I thought for sure he would be coming in.
No, these Hokies. First off, you give up over 7.4 yards a rush last season to Rutgers, and you return 20 starters. I can tell you this: Brent Pry might not be that good of a coach, but that is motivation, and any idiot can do fucking motivation. Say, hey, you guys gave up 7.4 yards a rush. This is our house. We returned 20 starters. We're getting it done. And the Greek pellet gun will not come into Lane Stadium and get the dub.
Oh, he's not going to get the dub. They'll get the cover. While Colby was talking about Emmitt Smith face mask, I googled Emmitt Smith face mask to remind myself of exactly how it looked.
Different time, Sean.
Well, this is one of the items that came up when I googled. So this is like a COVID-19 mask with Emmitt Smith's face.
Get us one of those. Get us one of those.
What, to burn?
Yeah, so Colby can wear it. He can wear an
Colby wear a mask around the office.
The Emmitt Smith face mask.
That's crazy too in Texas, huh? Because I actually traveled through Texas during COVID.
Yes.
Let me tell you, there wasn't only no Emmitt Smith face mask. There was no face mask.
Literally anywhere but California was a good place to be in COVID. I'm sticking with Rutgers. I don't care.
Yeah, look, to me, Rutgers, they've covered, and this is hilarious about Greg Schiano. They've covered both games that they had no business covering. They scored late to do this, but this is where karma plays a role here. You're going into Lane Stadium is a legit home field environment, and I don't think Rutgers has the offense. And I would bet on the pellet gun to make the turnovers more than drones at home. So Virginia Tech gets this done. I look this to be like a honestly, I'm thinking like 16 to 6 or something.
19 to 9.
Yeah, there we go.
19 to 9.
Shout out to Scott Reichel, host of the Tennis Gambling Podcast. Check it in. Can I bet punt first drive for each team? I've seen Scott give him a follow on X at Reichel Radio. Tweet out some of the. I think he had it for Iowa State, which I can't believe, and it might have been plus money.
I would just caution you. That's traditionally Virginia Tech like to let teams score for a drive. And then they adjust.
You're right. And Virginia Tech might fumble.
On the offensive side, Bowen is one of these guys. He's really bad in general, but the scripted drive is sometimes okay. So optimistically speaking. All right. So Sean's taking Rutgers.
Oh yeah.
That's just
my Rutgers. I put $20 on them to win the Big Ten at 150 to 1.
Wow,
that's in my circa.
Then you're betting on them every week.
They can lose this, Sean. And they don't need this game for the win.
This is not
a
conference game. I don't know if you're.
And they're going to come.
You actually kind of want them to lose, so they focus next week.
That's true.
On the Big Ten opponent.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No one's going to bring up the look ahead to Miami. All right, and we're going to move along to 1 o'clock, where another great new Big 12 matchup. Utah heads to Stillwater to take on Oklahoma State. I mean, this is a hell of a welcome to the Big 12 home spot or a road spot for Utah. They're laying 1.5 here, -120 on the money line. Oklahoma +100 coming back. 54.5 is the total. I mean, we like Utah, or we did like Utah.
I mean, when Cam Rising plays, I like Utah. I obviously love them at home because that home environment is so tough to get a beat on. This is interesting because I mean Oklahoma State. I think Utah's going to be able to throw on them. Cam Rising, crazy stat. He has 29 attempts He's thrown the ball 29 times. 7 have gone for touchdown passes. Now I know he's coming back off that finger injury,
Water cooler injury.
Yeah,
I got one here at the office once, guys.
What happened?
I haven't filed with the state of California yet, but yeah, he fell on a water cooler.
Yeah, I mean, this guy really has no luck, injury or otherwise.
This is the fear of taking Utah. Is like,
Who was the
will he
basketball
make it
player
through
that
the
slipped
game?
on the McDonald's bag?
No, that was obviously bullshit. But anytime someone gets injured and they're excuse, I slipped in the shower,
Really?
like that kind of stuff. It's just you were drunk. I mean, they always
we've seen way too many forensic files to buy this.
Yeah, come on. Oh man, anytime. Anytime I think of forensic files, the guy who got caught because he burned his own house down for insurance money, and they became suspicious because all of his bowling trophies had been moved to an outside shed right before the fire happened.
Well, and you find out at the end of the spoiler alert. So turn the volume down if you want to hear it. But at the end of the episode, you do find out he was gonna use the insurance money to buy his way into the bowling
He
tour.
was gonna finance his
Gotta
career.
have goals.
6 figures to get into the bowling tour.
Yeah, where
what
is
kind of
that?
mafia is this?
That was in Seattle too. What?
Oh,
I didn't know. I didn't think you guys took sports serious up there.
Yeah,
Some months and
What's
shit.
going on?
All right, so the wrong team's favorite here, right?
I guess. I mean, I'm worried about the environment a little bit. I'm worried that Cam's gonna jam his finger or something. But Ollie Gordon's kind of been a dud. I know he came in as like a Heisman candidate. They really haven't figured his.
Patty C was making that point that he should have went pro last year because teams are prepping.
He's a running back.
Yeah, and I'm all over Utah here, man, and I think Utah has nobody bangs in the Big 12 like Utah. Like they got guys that will just fucking come
Their
after
line,
you.
I think,
You know
is
what I mean?
going
That's
to-
what I'm saying. Like I really believe, and to me, if you bottle up the run, Alan Bowman, another 20-year quarterback, much like Cam Rising, I believe he's more susceptible to the turnover than Cam Rising. And I here's another element. Kyle Whittingham, I think, is the better coach, and I think Mike Gundy's a great coach. But Whittingham, there's sharp edges every time you see Utah. Like to me, special teams, they always block punts, they always return kicks. They're just, to me, the most complete team in this conference. And this is their first year. I just got to take Utah though, because I just feel like they'll find that edge. The only way to me you lose this thing is if Cam Rising is injured, which is a high chance.
Which is like 50-50.
Yeah.
How confident are you he's healthy?
Pretty
Come on,
confident.
He got injured on the fucking water cooler, man. Like, are you a dude? Come on, you can play.
Well, he's been injured a lot, Colby.
Well, no, but I mean, I don't know. Like Colby, don't you think?
Yeah, give me the wrong team's favorite. I'll take Oklahoma State.
Yeah, don't you think if they needed him in that Baylor game, he could have played, or if they thought? And
Yes,
and
I do.
honestly, I think they didn't think they were going to need him against Utah State. That game, I mean,
Was a little dicey. Was a little
Utah
dicey.
State kind of
Yeah.
hung around.
How's Utah State right now, Colby?
Well, they're 1-2, but remember they played USC and Utah. So I mean, there's no shame in that. I think they'll get to a bowl. Give me the Utes. By the way, I think Kramer's on Oklahoma State, so correct the sheet.
Oh, does Sean making mistakes?
Trying
again?
to do.
I keep
Oh,
saying
you're taking Oklahoma State.
wrong
right?
team favored. That would indicate that I'm on the team that's not favored. As in the wrong team, Utah is favored. And yeah, you guys are crazy just to jump right back into Cam Rising.
Yeah, this time's different.
This is like you got herpes last
battered
time.
wife. It's different this time. He said he's not going to hurt me.
All I know is
I want him to pick up where he left off and somehow win me my Baylor bet.
Okay.
Because he was just carving that defense up.
all I know is everyone's always sucking off Saban and Harbaugh. Whittingham's got a winning record against both.
Okay. Wrong team favored. Next up, TCU. They're both of these teams a little underwhelming this year.
Battle of the Iron Skillet. Battle of the Iron Skillet, and
Do
unfortunately,
they give out a skillet?
they do.
Why is it iron?
And I'm sure. That's
No,
a
you
good
don't know
question,
that?
But
I'm out on Colby's college football knowledge.
this though is going away in a couple years, so enjoy it.
TCU heads to Dallas, Texas to take on SMU. They spent a lot of money.
Only been happening since fucking Slinging Sammy Ball, you pieces of shit. You're gonna ruin this fucking rivalry.
2 p.m. on the West
I was
Coast.
told SMU was an offensive powerhouse.
SMU catching 2.5 at home here. The alumni can't be happy.
They put up 15 against BYU at home.
Plus 118 on the money line. TCU minus 142. 58.5 is the total. Yeah, I mean, what's the story with SMU, Colby?
Rhett Lashley's a story. I took the under at SMU.
I'm just saying they spent a lot.
Well,
of
they
money.
spent a lot of money, but look, Miami's been doing this for years. You buy rosters, but you doesn't mean you buy wins.
That's true.
Look at Florida State this year. Saudi Arabia State, they went and bought a whole goddamn roster, and they're 0-3.
Pretty bad.
I think TCU. This is an interesting game because Sonny Dykes was previously the head coach of SMU. SMU got super pissed off when he left for TCU. It kind of started to me the money movement, and if you really dive into it now, obviously they didn't raise $160 million overnight there, but and then Rhett Lashley was his OC, so he knows how the bastard thinks. I think TCU is the more talented team. They just gave up How about that? Did you guys catch that UCF game? They were up like crazy. 30 points on UCF and lost.
Bounce back spot for them?
I do. I think they get it done. I think they're just better coached. Honestly, I think they're just a little bit better coached. They always look a little more prepared than SMU. So I will
SMU just seems out of sync. I mean, it started with that spot in Nevada, but then letting BYU hang around at home like that just shows me you don't have much of a home edge. And part of their offensive worries is they don't really have the quarterback position figured out. Like
I thought that was kind of crazy. Switching to Jennings, and that's what I'm saying. Lashley though, he mismanaged it from the start of the preseason to me. And TCU with Hoover, he's a good QB. I think he's going to end up. He's only a sophomore, so he's going.
What's the crowd going to be like?
This will be an SMU crowd, but once a private school pussies sitting up there with their money, George W.
So you're telling me you got SMU? They spent all this money. They come out, they don't look so hot. They lose against BYU, and then they get a week off, and then you want to fade them as a 2.5 point dog, where we know you're supposed to take the 2.5, not lay it. But
they played BYU. No, never mind. SMU's last game was it? I thought they played
they played what? Houston Christian somewhere in there. No, they played BYU last, I think.
Yeah,
and they had
but that was only to Kramer's point. It was Friday. September
I just
6th.
don't know how good SMU is. And I questioned this last year. I know they won the AAC, but they didn't play many winning teams. I think they lost to every winning
the extra
team.
time to prepare is a good spot for SMU. But I don't want to bet on. I can't bet on SMU.
To quote the great Mike Leach, may he rest easy.
He doesn't want to.
SMU's players are all paid. They're there with their fat girlfriends eating fish sandwiches.
Oh wow!
Drinking their lemonade in the shade.
88% of the bets on TCU. Gimme SMU, big game off the bye.
Better, Ryan.
I got really destroyed in the NFL on Sunday. And it's helped me become laser focused. Reading the market really well. SMU plus the points. Come on.
Kramer, why don't we hop in the lab? See what our buddies over at Rhythm have to say. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial going. If you want to pull off Spud's glasses,
goodness,
Colby.
Get those.
I got my snorkeler for it. I don't know what you did with that.
It's hanging back there. It's just right behind me. In case I want to go snorkeling.
Come along with the Storks, Ryan. What are your? I know you have competing models going for college football.
So you don't put these on anymore, huh? The gimmick's up.
No, I
fucked up.
I raw dog. You're new to this though. You might want to be careful.
What are your models like this week?
Be careful, Spuds. Colby took off your protection. So again, reminder. And by the way, I have been tweaking the models just a touch,
dialing them in.
Veronica and Skylar so far, definitely more of a fan of Veronica's style.
That Veronica Vaughn.
What a piece.
Yeah. So as we've been most successful when we let them overlay, which we should have done in the NFL last week, Sean. I don't know why we didn't even ask our models.
My model loved the Bucks money line. That was my big model play.
All right. So here. do we want to go off the board, or do we want to stay in?
Maybe you can go off the board, throw a little bonus play for the people tuning in and signing up over on Rhythm, getting their 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Well, one of those morning games you could tune into is the Eastern Michigan Eagles versus the St. Francis Red Flash. Both my models love. One of the strongest plays on the board is St. Francis plus the 24 points.
I'm with you.
Veronica, Skylar, and the database agree.
Already 1-0 against the MAC. Can they make it 2-0?
So again, rarely do these pesky models agree, but I mean, you didn't think we were going to talk about the Eagles.
Go Birds. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today.
One thing to note too, I found that Veronica more of a money line model. Skylar a little bit better with the totals. Again, really starting to get in with my models. We're spending some good time together. All right. So to recap, you two donkeys are on TCU on the road, and I'm on the sharp side, aka SMU, coming off the bye. 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. This is a big game. We're heading to Norman, Oklahoma, where Tennessee, who looks pretty good, they're taking on Oklahoma. This is, I would say, this feels like a trap at 6.5 for Tennessee on the road, -265 on the money line. Oklahoma plus 215, 57.5 is the total. You say potato, I say potato. There are some 7s out there. There are some 6.5s out there. Would you like to move it, Sean? I'll let you be the arbiter.
Let's see.
What is Sean going to pick? Is Sean going to lay it or take it? That's how you know what he's going to pick here.
No, because I am going back and forth on this. The fact that Colby says he's seeing 7 makes me think he's leaning Oklahoma.
Makes you think.
Yeah, but we'll call it 6.5. We'll call it 6.5.
I'm fine at 7.
Okay.
And I'm laying.
No, all right. So you're laying it.
Again,
you feel good about it.
I don't think I've lost one of these negative CLV bets on this show this year. Tennessee by 1 million.
Colby, what are you doing?
Well, look, Kramer's wrong.
It's a lit environment.
Kramer said this before. He said, look, I'm taking Michigan because everyone's taking USC. The real sharp play.
Oh shit! Is everyone taking Tennessee?
Is everyone's on the Vols?
Shit.
And Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, give me Oklahoma.
Is going. Look, and let's add in this part. Brent Venables told a good story today.
Oh no.
Where he and Mike Leach recruited Josh Heupel and
I read
Achilles
about this.
Smith, but he went for Leach went for Heupel and Venables disagreed, and Heupel won them a national championship. And then they became, shortly after a quick stint as a Green Bay Packer quarterback, he came back to Oklahoma as an OC, and Venables was the DC. Well, first I think Heupel was quarterback's coach, but my point is that they went up against each other in practice for about 8 years there before they fired Josh Heupel. Now it is a revenge game for him, but I think Venables knows how to stop the gimmick.
Fuck.
And I think Oklahoma, even though they have looked a little questionable on the offensive side of the ball, Tennessee, who have they played? Oh, Kent State. Guess what? They lost to St. Francis of the Red Flash in the FCS, who I don't even think they do full scholarships. So then they also beat an FCS. Oh, Chattanooga. Okay. Then they beat NC State. Well, guess what? NC State's fucking horrible. All right. I'm not buying in. Oklahoma rarely loses at home. And if they do, it's normally to Kansas State. Kansas State's no longer on the schedule. Give me the Sooners plus the 7.
Like they said, like the great David Chappelle once said, let me talk to Sampson. Come on, Colby. Dylan Sampson? This guy's averaging 7.9 yards per carry
against
9
Kent State.
Touchdowns. Yeah. How's Oklahoma's rush defense? They're going to ground and pound all day.
I'll trust the Brent
Tennessee
Venables
is going to
defense.
fuck up, but not this early. They fuck up later when the games get a little bit more important.
So
this is an important.
We're going back to 6.5.
Top 30 rush defense.
Colby, I see
30.
a 7 out there for us.
All right.
Yeah, let's go.
You need that 7. That's gonna make you feel
Give me
nice.
my 7.
It's gonna make you feel
Give
nice
me my
and
7.
safe.
And I forgot to mention.
Look, I got my 7.
I forgot to mention Nico Cinco, the starting quarterback of Tennessee.
How's he doing?
He's doing amazing, but this is his first road game in his life in college football. I will fade that all fucking day.
You're right. This is just nothing but home dogs and contrarian takes. I love it, Colby. I love it. All right, and by the way, I did look it up. Tennessee is catching 91% of the bets.
Tennessee did put up.
That's what I'm saying.
They put up 51 on NC State.
You
as
went,
Scott Reichel points out. Come on,
NC State's horrible. They lost. They almost lost. La Tech is a bottom 5 FBS team, and they barely got past La Tech last week. They barely got past Western Carolina in the FCS week 1. Guess what? Western Carolina has since gone on and lost to fucking Campbell the next week. The Camels. All right. The real Saudi Arabia state. Right. So this is a good spot. And look, like you said, I think you should reverse course on your Michigan one, because the Michigan one, I actually can't really see a path for them getting it done.
Not reversing
Oklahoma
course.
could. Jackson Arnold has not looked amazing at the quarterback spot, but that doesn't matter. Tennessee's played no one.
Yeah. Yep. This style of offense. Back to the old days where I used to make fun of these high school offenses. Yeah. I maybe a money line play, Colby.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Sean disagrees.
Yes.
Next up, 4:30, another one on the West Coast, heading to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Another questionable game here. I'm not sure why we're picking this one. I'm sure it's because of the trophy or something. Minnesota catching 2.5.
This is the Beaver Pelt game, Kramer. This goes back to 1926 when a couple fur trappers ran a college football game next to their mining operation.
Floyd of Rosedale, buddy. All right, 1891, by the way. All right. 1891. This is college football.
What do they play for?
They played for a big ass trophy, a pig trophy.
Okay.
Yeah, the Floyd of Rosedale.
Did we not look this up last year? I want to say is this not the heaviest by mass trophy in college football?
I think you are correct.
Okay. I mean,
which is, I still question that with the Nevada cannon.
That's true.
I still question. I don't think people.
What do they got? Some plutonium in there? All right. So Iowa coming to Minnesota. Iowa laying 2.5 on the road. Man, I still feel butthurt over that inexplicable blown game against Iowa State. Iowa minus 135 on the money line. Minnesota plus 112. 36.5 is the total. Nice Iowa total there. How's PJ Fleck in the boat rowing this season, Colby?
Well, let's say he had never beaten Kirk Ferentz until last season when they won on a bullshit call when Cooper Lagasse had not Cooper Lagasse. Who am I thinking of? The Eagles corner.
Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean.
You gave it a nice French flair.
Yeah, Cooper Lagasse is a quarterback.
I'm out on Colby's college football knowledge.
But you see, I knew he was on the Eagles. You see that right there?
Wow,
that
sharp.
And I don't even subscribe to your guys' phony league. All right. Did you declare an onside kick before the episode?
Oh, I didn't. But we're in the league.
Kramer, you may want to flag him for targeting. Let's go to the booth to review.
Yep.
That was an illegal.
Outta here.
That was a mean shot. Get out of here, Colby.
Who created targeting?
How many kickoff returns?
The NFL doesn't have targeting.
How many kickoff returns in the NFL or in the college football this year?
A ton.
2-minute timeout. 2-minute timeout. Definitely not the 2-minute warning. Anything else you want to copy?
I will push back on
paying
that.
players. That was our idea.
What do you want to copy? Just the whole entire fucking sport? You fucking candy asses.
It's not copied if you make it better.
Hey, please.
Coke
Sean,
copied Pepsi and they made it better.
Please,
Sean, let's make a rule. If we get to 3 overtimes, we just do 2-point conversion.
Yeah, you guys still do ties?
Because we're tired.
You guys still do ties?
Kramer,
you still do ties? No, let's go watch a game where there's no winner.
There's no
winner.
This game is
how
going
neutral
long.
is that?
Let's invoke the mercy rule.
Tie?
Tie is the worst.
But ties are the oldest thing ever.
Yeah.
See?
Back in 1865, there was the first tie, Colby. I'm surprised you didn't like
Colby, you should like ties.
No, ties are horrible. The CFL does that bullshit too.
Anyway, like I was saying, we're talking about a game where they're battling over a heavy pig trophy between Iowa and Minnesota, where potentially we may have the wrong team favored.
This is interesting because I never liked, Iowa's a great program. They're actually pretty good as a road favorite. 26-17-2 since 2003. I don't like the idea of backing Cade McNamara on the road. Obviously they're going to try and limit his mistakes. They've been bad ATS. Iowa 1-4 last 5 here.
It goes back further than that. I'm just saying.
What Iowa's streak of ATS?
Yeah, they're just coaching dominance, like Colby was pointing out earlier.
Special teams dominance. You saw Minnesota miss critical field goals. Iowa hasn't missed a critical field goal since fucking Mark Vlasic.
Right.
I will take Iowa all day.
Don't overthink.
I don't know. Cade McNamara on the road. I realize he's not a part of what they
Max
do.
Brosmer, an FCS quarterback, first time against a Kirk Ferentz defense.
It's a good counter, but Minnesota is a home dog here in a Big Ten spot.
If it was anywhere else but Minnesota, I might be worried. But I agree.
They say the land of 10,000 lakes.
Yeah, I explained to a young person why the Lakers were called the Lakers recently. Nope, kids don't know about the 10,000 lakes anymore, Colby. They just aren't teaching.
Well, they're not
them
reading their quarters. You're giving them too much money. That's
so
what
and you didn't tell people what was the final score of that game last year that Minnesota beat
12-10.
12-10.
And that was on a phony call. Like I said, Iowa should have won that game.
We're gonna lay the 2.5, and Iowa's gonna win by 2.
All right, I'll take Iowa, but I don't feel great about it.
You shouldn't.
No,
never feels good to take Iowa. They owe us one. All right, next up, couple more games to go. Colby kept the list nice and short this week. Why we're talking about Colorado again? Baylor heads the Boulder, 5 p.m. on the West Coast.
He was he was convinced.
-1.5
when I
Colorado.
saw the sports books desperately needed Colorado, I was like, all right, I got cute.
One of the things lost in this season,
Colorado
lost
State's
in
not
that Nebraska game, is Colorado's defense is actually being decent this year, and I'm telling you, it's better than what you think. Their D line is not as bad, not nearly as bad as a year ago.
Well,
and their halftime adjustments have been fucking fire. All 3 games. They shut out Nebraska in the second half.
I'll say this too.
Warren Sapp, I hear, is a big part of the adjustments.
Now, obviously, you can't compare Utah at home to Colorado at home, but look what happened to. Before Cam Rising got hurt, they were lighting up Baylor. Now, it's similar in that it's a team Colorado with a good passing game at home at elevation against this Baylor defense that. Now, if Baylor had the type of team where they could play smash mouth ball and really bleed the clock and impose some physicality on the Buffs, I'd be a little bit worried. But I think if Colorado gets a little early score and that defense plays with the lead, I think they're in a good spot. I like Colorado a lot here.
I'm with you. Give me the Buffs. Look, are they starting Daquan Finn? Are they starting Sawyer Robertson?
Guys are so obvious.
Like these quarterbacks are all over the place for Baylor. Dave Aranda's a loss away from being fired.
It's true.
He feels the pressure here and he loses because Colorado's. You're hilarious.
Who seats hotter, Prime or Aranda?
Buddy, stop.
Oh.
You think they would fire Coach Prime? If anything, he would fire the president of Colorado.
Yeah, I was about to say.
We're like a couple months away from Dean Prime. Honestly, if you got the
Dean Prime, I love that.
If you got the board of regents or whoever makes that call and they said, "Hey, it could be this dildo or Coach Prime," Coach Prime would win in a landslide.
You saw it.
You know how much money they're charging?
No,
for
you
tuition?
saw it when Colorado before they lowered their grade point average. Because Coach Prime said, "Hey, we're not going to bring in good talent here." They're like, "Man, they had been poor Carl Durrell, the coach before, couldn't. They wanted to bring in a bunch of transfers, they couldn't. Now he was able to."
Well, he didn't ask. Dion went and asked. He's like, "Hey, so you got to help me out with this GPA thing here."
Ryan, I saw a mock draft that had the Giants drafting Shedeur Sanders.
But they don't do black quarterbacks.
No, I know. That's why I said they must not follow the league and aren't aware with
there's a number
the Giants old school rules.
The Mara still own the Giants, and if you go back, they were gangsters back in the day. But hey, who am I? Poor Dan Snyder.
I'm more progressive.
Dan Snyder had a couple cheerleaders, maybe cross the line in Costa Rica. But hey, we got to get rid of him.
The chat might not be onto your edgy bit. They're just gonna start reminding you that Tyrod was on the team last year.
Yeah, and they made sure
not black enough for.
They made sure that he didn't throw a pass.
He did throw a pass actually. He did, and he screwed up a game. No, he played in the regular season. I know you're not dialed into the NFL, but he did play in the regular season. He'll play in the regular season this year. He's gonna play for your Jets this year. If you follow the NFL at all, you would know that there's 0% chance that Dion's kid is playing for the Giants.
Yeah. He hates the organization, rightly so. Trash operation.
I mean, also unclear if his son is going to be a first round quarterback.
I mean, whether or not he's going to be good is one thing. He is 100% going to be a first round quarterback.
I mean, he's throwing to some first round receivers. I know that.
Yeah, Ryan, but have you seen the type of guys who get drafted in the first round
by the Giants at quarterback? They're definitely looking for the squarest guy. I mentioned Sawyer Robertson was starting in the game. That's one. They didn't even look at the highlight film. Let's go Sawyer. Tell me more about this Sawyer Robertson kid.
Daniel Jones. They just looked at his fraternity headshot. They're like, now that's a quarterback you can set your watch to. Get him the big contract.
He had no Power 5 offers, but Princeton offered.
He walked down. Dave Gettleman got aroused visually when he saw Daniel Jones lead the first huddle of the Senior Bowl. That's how he knew. Anyway, Shedeur Sanders. I mean, I feel like I'd be willing to wager that Shedeur Sanders is not a first round quarterback.
All right, I would take that bet.
Yeah. Let's do that bet.
I mean, is he?
I'll be out in Vegas.
It doesn't now. I'm not as confident he's going to be an awesome quarterback in the NFL. I think there's a lot of questions, but do I think he's going to get drafted in the first round? 100% yes.
What are you going to tell me? What are you going to tell me next? Travis Hunter doesn't deserve the Heisman?
Well, let's think about this. You don't. No.
Ryan, you're not thinking how the people that draft. He's going to get so much fucking hype. One of these fan bases that is a trash team. No offense, Ryan, but one of these fan bases are going to be clamoring.
This is New York City.
Sean, the Eagles lost to Kirk Cousins in prime time last night.
Yeah, that was a bad loss. Okay. But they're not going to be drafted a quarterback in the first round.
Shedeur Sanders not being a first round quarterback. I mean, if anything, this year's quarterback crop will maybe have NFL teams realizing, all right, let's not get crazy. These guys all fucking suck. But yeah, Shedeur Sanders. I mean, how many quarterbacks get drafted?
He sells you so much hope. Come on.
I mean, and he brings in a YouTube production crew.
What are you talking about? NFL's been doing that shit for years. What do you think real sports is?
Gotta work on that music career.
What are you talking about? Or the Hard Knocks?
You think Kadarius Toney's going to hurt?
I can't wait.
Kadarius Toney is going to hurt Shedeur Sanders' draft stock. Now that's crazy.
I cannot wait to see Shedeur Sanders.
So you're taking Baylor?
It's a difficult decision to take. I think I have to take Colorado.
Baylor on the road. Come on.
Oh, after all that talk.
Now Colorado's going to lose. Yep. Kramer's on him.
I'm on him.
Damn it.
And yeah, I don't think Shedeur Sanders is a great.
Okay, that is a fair.
Let me tell you,
I don't think he has NFL.
Kyron Drones, is one hell of a guy. All right.
Oh, I don't think Kyron Drones is an NFL first round NFL.
Kyle McCord is.
I think he's more likely to be drafted in the first round than Shedeur Sanders.
I think McCord.
Oh, okay. They're saying Drones.
No.
I was about to say. I was like, drafted for what?
No, I think you got to go off of some. So on some level, you got to look at the arm talent. I think if you watch Shedeur Sanders and you see an NFL arm, then I just haven't seen it yet. That's all.
He's got an Eli Manning arm.
Eli had a much better arm. That's a disrespectful statement, and you know that.
No.
Kansas State
lawn chairs are lawn chairs.
But Eli had a much fucking better arm than Shedeur Sanders. That's a horrible take. Kansas State heads to Provo, Utah, like I will be in a couple weeks. Do a little soaking. I'll have to. I don't. What do you bring for a soak? Shorts, pants, a onesie, maybe. BYU catches
the snorkel mask.
That would be excellent actually, just in case things get messy. BYU plus 6.5 at home, plus 190 on the money line, minus 230 for Kansas State. 47.5 is the total. Why wouldn't we be taking the BYU as another live home dog here?
Oh, I'm all over it. Buddy.
BYU after dark.
Yeah, look, Avery Johnson's played one road game in his career that was at Tulane, and he looked like shit. They got very fortunate to get out of that game. This is road game number 2.
This feels like a trap.
Let me tell you, Yeoman Stadium is way different than Lavelle Edwards Stadium. You go into Lavelle Edwards Stadium, you're gonna hear an actual legit home field advantage. You know, I think BYU has been disrespected really all preseason. Kalani Sitake is a good football coach, former Kyle Whittingham guy. Last season they had a case of Keaton Slovis. It hurt them.
I mean, they didn't look great on K-State. Didn't look great on the road at Tulane,
and they have Oklahoma State on deck.
Yeah, it's a great look ahead spot for Kansas State.
And they haven't. It's not like they play BYU. Like they haven't been to Provo in like 20 years.
It's like a sneaky home elevation dog. You gotta love.
They don't know about the soak scene, and they're gonna walk into the soak scene and realize, holy shit. It's like quicksand, Sean. You know what I mean?
Look out.
I mean, we have been told by people in Provo that they actually have sex. Worth
It's
noting.
Allegedly.
Jim McMahon was
Allegedly.
the only guy that told us that.
I don't. Again, if you still believe in Santa Claus, I apologize for ruining the surprise. But
What do you mean? No bullshit. I call flag on the play.
What do you
Because a
mean?
couple of years ago, they kicked off the best player on their basketball team
For having sex?
fucking premarital sex.
that's different.
Oh, you got to be married. You're saying?
Well-
so you're married, then you have sex.
Well,
So Zach Wilson wasn't having sex because
I think most of the students aren't on a sports team and probably aren't agreeing to some weird cultural.
They don't even have
thing.
alcohol. You've been
also-
there. You get like fucking the lowest percent. You have a
3-2
beer.
beer.
Near beer.
3-2 beer.
How
No,
are you gonna get laid in college with near beer?
I mean, I'm sure.
And that's what you get near sex with near beer. Where also soaking is sex. It just means you put it in, but you don't move it around.
What?
Like,
And who's judging
Is
the
that
thrust?
what it is?
Who's judging the thrust?
What did you think soaking was? Soaking means you literally put it in
No,
And you
and
float.
you soak.
And you float.
You just,
Yeah.
I don't know what you
But that's
just
not how it works.
stay there. Like, all right, no
What kind of
hip
shit have you been in?
thrusting.
That's not how it works.
Like
Well,
an
how
above,
does it work?
Like an above ground pool.
Just saying, you need friction to start a fire. Can't just be hanging out in the hot springs.
If,
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you have someone there to review the thrust, I'm
There's no
assuming,
way that's
all
what
right,
it is.
here, this is from Wikipedia, not Urban Dictionary. Oh my God. All right, hold
You
on.
got to have a buddy. Like you got to do the Scooby Doo where you're behind like a fucking painting with your eyes. and you're just
Soaking?
sitting there saying,
Is there
okay.
soaking porn I
Listen
can
to this.
check out?
Yeah, soaking is a sexual practice. This is Wikipedia of inserting the penis into the vagina, but not
No
subsequently thrusting
Oh,
or
yeah. I
ejaculating.
knew thrust was in there.
Yes.
That
And
liberal filth Wikipedia.
oh my God! All right, hold on. I got to share my screen because there is an amazing for the audience on YouTube. You guys got to see this great visual. So that on the left is
So that's what Steve Young did.
they just have a
Is that
they
a
have
what?
they have a diagram of thrusting with a big circle and
that an
X over it.
Is that an? Yeah, that's a.
That's what I'm saying. These Kansas State boys.
Tell me another
think-
college football show that's giving you that kind
You
of.
think
handicap.
Avery Johnson's gonna come into the Super Soaker and get a dub? No. BYU.
No.
Let's go.
BYU
BYU
all
on the
day.
money line. On the fucking money line.
Now I want to know what Ryan thinks soaking was before this show.
Yeah, now I'm pretty confused too.
I mean, I guess I thought it had some sort of metaphorical significance, but I in some ways I think I was overlaying like an Amish thing where they sew you to a bed.
Well, there is certain religions where they
maybe
Wait,
that's just from the movie King.
Yes, Kingpin, right?
I might be introducing some thoughts that don't need to be involved.
Are you confusing Rumstringa?
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, so
E. Arbo saying that sign should be a game day. Yes, please. Google Wikipedia. If anyone going to wait, game day is not at Provo, right?
No,
Oh,
not that I know of, at least.
But they
Is
should
that-
still
yeah.
feel free.
Tell me that is. Is that really there? No way.
And I'll put this up: $500 bounty for anyone who gets a SGPN sign on game day.
Yes, come on.
You need to get the sign up and a screenshot to send it in. SGPN, whatever inside joke you want to go with. I mean, I'll double it to $1,000 if you can get the thrusting. I don't think you'll be able to get that sign in, but get creative. Where is game day this week, Colby?
I'm not sure. Are you checking right now? No.
No,
thought you
I
were
was just
checking.
reading
Hold on.
about
Give me 5
soaking.
seconds here.
This is Ryan. Reclassify this episode as an educational podcast.
I'm assuming it's Norman, but let's see.
All right.
Yeah, it is Norman. Yeah, we're good.
Let's go. All right, time for the log and tease
You know they're gonna protect the SEC.
and bonus lock. Kramer, what do you got for the folks?
Yeah, a lot of people saying that it's pretty hard to soak without having actual sex. So
Yeah,
I'm just going off of Reddit.
if you put a penis in a vagina, I'm old school. I consider that sex.
apparently, like, yeah, they were.
I can't wait till the transcript AI gets a load of this episode.
Wow, yeah. So autocorrect. So, all right, lock, dog, tease. Do I go first? I'll go first. Happy to go first.
Okay.
Lock. There's a couple wrong team favored, and there's also a couple just absolute smash spots. All right. Well, let's start with the dog because I think we were highlighting BYU and Oklahoma are very much both in consideration here. I think you just got to go BYU. Watching this team play at home, it is a different situation. For the lock number one, let's go all the way back to the beginning. Thursday night, we're heading to Boone. It's going to be lit. We're laying the 7.5. Sharp number there to be laying. And then lock number two. Oh man, I don't want to be a complete donkey, but hey, let's do it. I've already bet it. I like the number. It's better than the one I bet. Louisville laying the points, coming off the bye. I think you guys are crazy to be on Georgia Tech. And for the tease, I have to think like Sean here, since he's such a great teaser of college football.
You're
games.
welcome.
All right, first we're gonna move Washington State down to 6.5 or 5.5.
I would not be teasing that.
We're then going to move Illinois to 14.5.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I thought so. And then we're last leg. We're going to move Arizona State to 9.5.
It's a nice. That's a sharp teaser leg.
I don't know. That's the one that scares me the most.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Because why? The Texas Tech environment?
I don't know. Just haven't been teasing well. Ever since you wanted to cancel the teaser, I haven't been teasing quite as well. You kind of ruined it for me.
Cam Rising gets it done. Give me Utah laying 1.5.
Clip this for when he's hurt and 2 minutes into the game.
It's different. He's not going to get hurt.
Or when he doesn't play at all.
Colorado -1.5 at home. Smash spot for them against Baylor.
Like last year, he was questionable for every game and then
That
turned
was
out
really
to not
funny.
play any games.
We're like, I think it's like, yeah, this guy's not going to play. What are we talking about?
No, even the year before they did that in a random Thursday night game against Washington State. He was my DFS guy, and it's like you all of a sudden the game starts, and it's like, we don't know what's going on, but he's not taking the snaps. Whittingham is like Belichick with the old injury reports.
We
we
need national like standards around the college injury report.
This year they've taken a step forward.
I know they're doing it. Some conferences
not
are
the
doing
Big 12 though, not the Big 12.
But some conferences are doing it, and it will get there. But yeah, you can't just be like, yeah, no, he's good. No, didn't play the whole year. He said on a mic the week of game day that he was questionable to play for the first game of the year. He didn't play the whole season.
He was not questionable.
Yeah.
A la Christian McCaffrey. Wait till we get the out for the season.
Oh
no. For my dog, this feels like a game Nebraska fucks up. Illinois on the money line. For my tees.
It's a good pick.
Tennessee just to get the dub -1.
Wow. Rare weakness.
For my my other tees, USC to get the dub. +0.5 there in case there's a tie. And then last but not least, App State -1.5 on the tees. Nice little leg there.
You know what they say about a broken clock, Colby?
It's right 4 times in a row.
Yep, and then it's wrong a lot more.
Locking up the Illini +8.5. App State -7.5.
Baby.
Ooh, Illinois plus App State -7.5 was in lock consideration.
Yeah, so was Illinois.
Definitely going to be playing that.
All right, this is good.
The dog is BYU money line, but Sean, can I interest you in a little BYU Illinois parlay?
You can.
Oh, what? I'm not allowed to get in on that.
I wasn't sure if you.
What do you mean you weren't sure?
Maybe you changed your mind. I'm not
This
sure.
fucking guy.
You're a plus EV better over there.
Like you didn't know what soaking was.
Get the fuck outta here.
You
I'm
didn't know
out.
what soaking was.
I'm out on that parlay, but I will be in on my own BYU Illinois parlay.
Sean and Colby, and then Kramer in a
Put my
parlay.
separate parlay.
I'm going to
but
say yours is Illinois and BYU.
Yeah.
Ours is BYU and
Don't
Illinois.
don't throw down our Super Soaker parlay. The tees, App State down to -1.5. Iowa to +3.5.
Whoa, teasing around 0.
Sorry, what's your tease, Colby? Sorry.
App State -1.5.
Oh
Okay.
my god!
Like that.
Iowa +3.5.
Hit the breaking news.
Well, I think that's okay in an Iowa game.
Yeah, and Syracuse -2.5.
Oh wow.
No, I do love Syracuse too. I'm having
Colby, what's going on with you doing these weird Wong like you're teasing through a lot of key numbers? Is everything all right?
What the hell is key numbers? These people don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Is this the new Colby
All right.
shopping for numbers?
Shop to you drop, customers. Let's go.
All right.
Hey, make sure you subscribe to the College Football Experience. Toss us a bone. Sign up over on BetUS, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS, underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Download the SGPN app. It's free. It's got all our podcasts. I saw Scott Reichel in the chat. Make sure you check out the tennis gambling podcast, the WNBA gambling podcast, the MLB gambling podcast. He does it all.
CFL gambling podcast.
No, what's that?
Check that out.
Yeah. Road to the Grey Cup.
USA.
Is that shit over? When does that end?
Oh, no, buddy. Look, and they have a real kickoff. Just check it out. They don't have to declare if there's going to be a real kickoff, an onside kick or not.
There's already been.
But I did appreciate you plugging the college football experience. Helps the rivalry.
But
I'm not afraid to toss.
Don't check out the CFL show though.
No, don't watch that. All right, and we'll be talking National Football League tomorrow night.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Go Hokies.
Kramer. Let it ride.